Hello there everybody, Flying Scott Films here, and welcome back to another Custom Hints video. Now in my last video, I showed you how to remove the face of a Thomas item, so wooden railway, Trackmaster, what have you. In this video, I'm going to be covering how I weather. Now weathering is when you paint something in such a way that it looks rusted or dirty, or it gives more of a real-life feel to it. In Season 4, the narrow-gauge engines, especially Rusty, were usually heavily weathered with coal dust. And then here, I've got a few examples of different types of weathering. There are many types of weathering. I will be covering 3 or 4 today, very simple ones. Now on this one I did something called dry brushing. You wet the paintbrush, you put paint on the paintbrush, and then you get as much of it as you can off, and then you lightly brush it on. I'll demonstrate all of these later. Maybe not all of them, but most of them. This one, this was just a test earlier for a sort of snow thing with my Rusty that I really don't want. But this was just spray paint, actually. You just, from far away, spray it, whatever color, and it looks like snow or dust or whatever you want. But yeah, there you go. That's another way. And then another way you can do it is with something called a wash. Now you can buy washes, you can make them. This one I didn't do a very good job of, but it's basically watered down paint. And it's not quite like dry brushing, but it is very similar. So those are the 3 main ones that I have. Now I'm going to show you dry brushing. I'm going to demonstrate on this Trackmaster Duncan, just was the first thing I saw. So I have my paint tray. I think there's some paint on it already. You'll get your paintbrush. I'm just going to dry this one off. And then, is that wet still? Yeah, there you go. Then you get your paint on the paintbrush, and then you try and get as much of it as you can off here. Just get it. There you go. Get that off. And then go to where the coal would be, or wherever, whatever you want to weather, and then just brush around in those areas. And you can just make it look however you want it to look. Now there you go, that's just a little section of it. But it's one method of doing it. Here, I'm just going to finish up this bunker area, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, I have finished the bunker area, and I think it looks pretty nice. So as you can see, Duncan has the coal dust all over him, and there's that one section. Now this will look much better once you cover the entire thing. Like, if you can just, like, if you want, just put a bit of coal dust there. It's not that noticeable unless you put a ton of it, but there you go. It just looks the slightest bit better. I've just realized how squashed Trackmaster Duncan's cab is. Okay, moving on. Like I said, there's this thing called a wash. This is a gray wash. You can buy it at the store, and it's basically just watered down paint. Very watery, and it's comes in many different colors. You can make it just by, again, watering down paint. But if you get it like this, you can just cover something. Usually you'll just do something like that. Maybe just get your finger and... Oh, that's another thing. Instead of using a brush for dry brushing, you can just smear paint around in such ways that it looks nice. And there you go. You just get the paintbrush and... there you go. It just gives a nice weathered look, and it'll look better once it dries, definitely. But yeah, you can just do whatever, and it could look nice. Here, I've got the wet paintbrush now. It's got a bunch of water on it. And get some of the paint I had here. Just mix it around together. And there you go. You can just make your own washes. I feel like that looks to be a bit too much, so you can just, or even just get a piece of cloth, maybe not your shirt, like I'm doing, but this shirt's sort of been killed for that reason, and then you just want to do maybe a few streaks there, and there you go. See, doesn't look bad. And then of course there's the last method in which you will get a bit of spray paint and just spray it. I'm not going to show you that one, as I think this video's gone on long enough, but there you have it. Those are two pretty good ways of how to weather. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and keep a lookout for the next video that I may make for this series. Goodbye.